Chloe Lorentzen, how are you?
I am doing great, actually. Had a decent day at school for once, so put myself in a good mood. But yeah, I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling wonderful. This is my second cup of coffee, so I will be even better once I finish this.
I drink tea, actually. I'm very English like that, but quite American. I found out that I probably drink about 10 cups of tea a day. So I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know if it's an obsession or anything, but I drink a lot of it.
I think tea is very healthy. I mean, you may be the healthiest one of us because right now I'm just loading down with caffeine and trying to become
I've
human.
I've tried to get into coffee before, but I think it'll probably hit me when I'm 25, 30, or when the days are so hectic that I won't just need to sleep all the time and just keep myself awake.
Yes, yeah, become a zombie.
So a bit like now, actually.
Yes. Well, so it's still morning here, but you are in the UK. So what time is it for you?
It is 5:34.
All right.
And so yeah, I've been home for about an hour. Um, Pretty normal day, to be fair.
Yeah. So are you still in high school?
Yeah, technically I'm in 11th grade, so I think that's a junior, I think.
Yes.
But here it's called sixth form, and I'm in lower sixth, which means I'm in I've forgotten English ways now. I'm in year 12. So
Okay.
I'm 17. So that's year 12 for us. So I'm starting this thing called A levels, if you haven't heard of them. And I've been in A levels for about a year now, and it's very difficult, but it's going really good grade wise.
Well, you are a beautifully talented singer-songwriter. I have just been getting into your music, learning about you and listening to your songs, and you have just an amazing voice.
Thank you.
So
I'm just miming. It's actually my dad singing the whole time.
all right. Hey, well, we'll do like a whole family gig, you know?
Yeah, sure.
No, but it's wonderful. So I love getting young talent on this show because I think it's so inspiring to show people, yeah, what we can all do and that, where you can go and all the different goals that you can have in life. So tell me, how you started in music and like, when did you start writing songs?
Right. So it all started. No, I'm not going to do that.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, I write a whole book right now. But I've sort of always been the type to just listen to music just all the time. I can't remember a time in my life where a major moment surrounding something hasn't been based like around music or me listening to music and a song that's associated with a memory. But I've always loved music. I think the time where I really started to get into music was when my mom used to sing. Who's it by again? I'm not too sure, but we used to sing on the way to on the way to school every day in America. Rusty Kitchen Scissors. Who's that by again?
Oh, I don't know.
Miranda Lambert.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
So I sort of grew up on country a bit and a lot of Brandi Carlile, and and as soon as I had access to my grandma's phone, I started searching for more music, and there's probably these 5 songs that I listened to a million times a day. I can't remember the exact, but I know that one was an Ellie Goulding song, one was Moves Like Jagger. I used to listen to that nonstop every day. But yeah, I used to listen to music a lot, and I just connected with it so much. Not even in a way that's like lyrically, I wasn't really that in depth with music back when I was super young. I was about 6, 7. But I just started humming little melodies in the back of our garden in America, writing songs in the spot. I used to love doing that. And I started to do that quite a bit. And I moved to England. And when I was 8, I used to sing a lot around the house, especially the Harry Potter theme tune. I remember singing that a lot for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. But and my dad told me that I sounded a bit like a dying cat. He was probably trying to work, he was in a bad mood or something. But yeah, I just kept singing. I never stopped. And as I started writing more and more songs and singing more and more songs and doing more and more covers, like in my room and stuff, my parents were like, this might be interesting. And one day, I don't know why, but I came home from primary school. And I wrote up these little flyers. I don't know what in my mind made me do this all of a sudden, but I wrote up these little flyers saying girls singing in park at 4 o'clock in the evening. And I gave it out to random people walking around the park. Turns out it was actually already like 6 o'clock at night, so a bit late. But so I went to the park and I performed Let It Go on this sort of bench thing in front of just my brothers, and my mom and my dad, and this friend I had is our next door neighbor, I think. And that was like the first time I performed live, I guess you could say. I was about 7. And I don't know, I think it kind of started from there. I think my passion for music and performing in front of people kind of came from that one little moment of just doing something completely spontaneous, as young children do. And then I started writing more and more little melodies, more songs. And I got my first boyfriend. We all know where that's headed, you know, that little heartbreak and that fire burning in your soul. And I wrote my first proper song called Circus Clown, which is released, and you can find it anywhere. Really, I think, in fact, Circus Clown is the second song on my Time album, which is available on, you know, my website and anywhere. But yeah, so that was released, and I guess I started writing more and more songs. And busking was probably the number one thing that really got me into music, though, because you get all your confidence from busking. And Brandi Carlile actually told me to start busking because it really built up my confidence. I don't know if that was after or before I sang with her on stage at Portland Zoo, I think. Portland Zoo, yeah.
I was watching that today, actually. Yeah. And I was going to ask you about the Adele song and all that went on with that, because that is such a cool story.
Well, that's what kicked it all off, really, with Brandi Carlile, especially. Brandi was trying to reach out to Adele. She wanted to do a compilation, an album of different people singing her songs. So she got like Pearl Jam, and she wanted Adele. And Adele wasn't getting back, probably because she's Adele and she's a very busy woman. But and finally, I decided that, you know what, I can't do much, but I can do something. I can, even if it's tiny. So me and my dad, right before, I think my best friend was coming over to have a sleepover with me, and right before she came over, we quickly rewrote the lyrics to Hello, and we recorded it with my little cute microphone that's actually sitting over there. It's all memories. But we recorded that and we just posted it pretty much straight away. It was just like a snap decision, really. And I think it's safe to say that it sort of went a little bit viral, especially amongst the Brandi Carlile sort of community. And I think it reached Adele because she sort of replied and she was like, yes, I think somebody on our team found it. And she appeared on Brandi's album, Insane. She sang Hiding My Heart, which is a song that I especially love to cover. And then, you know, we flew to America, which finally, after 3 years, I think, of not going back to America because of COVID and stuff, we're going back to America this summer. So that's amazing. But at the time, we were flying to America. We went to Seattle to see Brandi perform. And she said that she wanted to perform When We Were Young with me, which is on my YouTube, like you said. And yeah, and then she just gave me some advice, and it was an absolutely incredible 2 nights. It was insane, to be fair.
It was awesome. I love, and you were 12 when you did that, and your vocal control was amazing. Your voice, I mean, just like you were born to do this.
Thank you. I wasn't actually nervous, which is weird because it was in front of so many people. I didn't get nervous that night. I think it was just the adrenaline or something. Yeah. But
you looked great on stage. Yeah, you have a great presence on stage. So what was that like, knowing that your song reached Adele? And were you a fan of Adele's prior to that?
Well, I think everybody deep down inside them is a little bit of a fan of Adele. Even when people say, no, I don't, Adele's not my thing, I don't really like her, they'll still sing along to her songs. So yeah, joke's on them, really. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I was a fan, but I would say that I knew a lot of her songs, and I loved singing them. And although I didn't really connect with them the same way because I was 11 and When We Were Young didn't really apply to me, I was still in my youth, and I still am, I guess. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that we all love Adele a little bit.
Yes, I love Adele, but
so I love her new album. I mean, there are some songs on there that I have just listened to on repeat.
Seriously. I haven't heard her new one yet, so I'll definitely have to go check that out.
My Little Love is my favorite. It's just great. It's genius. It's genius.
And Brandi's album was to shine light and raise awareness on children refugees, children who have been displaced because of war and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it was for the charity War Child. And I think with my charity CD, which is right here, when I was, I think, 11 or 12, something like that. I have a terrible memory, but this is covers. So When We Were Young, Hiding My Heart, Tragedy, When We Were Young, again, but not the band version, and then Tragedy. So all sort of Brandi Carlile and Adele songs. And this raised about £10,000 for War Child, and I'm still raising money for it today. So
that's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. That's incredible. And you also recently have written a song for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation of New Zealand for a commercial.
I have.
Tell me about that.
Well, what happened? It's a little bit strange how it all came about, but I was going to be on a radio show talking about vinyl and how hard it was to get vinyl, and it's all Adele's fault because she took up all the vinyl. But I was talking to them about how vinyl is difficult to get at the moment, or was sort of, and well, they kind of tricked me on the radio because I didn't realize that there was another person on the line. And they asked him a question, and I answered because I didn't think that there was anyone else on the line because I thought it was me and the radio presenter. And he answered, and I was like, wow, there's someone else on the line. Turns out they were doing this sneaky little hookup thing like, Chloe, they do vinyl. So we got together, and more about that in a second. Mm-hmm. But our friend in Australia, my dad's best friend in Australia, he posted up the interview and, told everybody that follows him and stuff to look out for me, listen to my songs, watch the interview, etc. And Andy Lish saw it, and he's an amazing, I don't know the technical term for ad person. He's amazing though. And he said that he was working on a Cystic Fibrosis New Zealand ad campaign, and he needed a song or an instrumental piece. And he saw that through because my dad's best friend is a Kiwi, and so connections. And he said, yeah, I want her. That's the voice that I'm looking for. Got in touch, told us to write a song, or to me to write a song in 6 days. And we wrote it, me and my dad sort of did it together, because obviously at school and stuff like that, it was very busy, but me and him worked on it. And I did the whole musical side, and me and him both did the writing side, lyrically wise. And we put together the song in 2 days, 2 hours really, but over the span of 2 days. And then me and him drove up to Liverpool. We booked a session at LIPA, which is a university. I think it was also a school that John Lennon and Paul McCartney went to, Liverpool. So very cool to walk around the hallways. And we recorded there. We booked a session from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m., but we had to overrun it just slightly to 4 a.m. We booked it till 5, just in case. We left at 4:30, had all the vocals done. I reached out to these amazing musicians in different countries. I find them off Fiverr, and there's a violinist and a cellist that I always go to because they're absolutely brilliant. And yeah, told them what to do and sent it back, got it mastered at Abbey Road Studios, and done and over with like that. And it's released now, it's done, but I'm currently just creeping up on it, waiting for that perfect time to say officially that it's released and whatnot. But so it's on the ad. The ad is, I think it's still playing in New Zealand. We're putting together a few things. The song is going to be released on vinyl, which is going to be printed by the same people that I was talking to on the radio interview. So it all kind of ties in nicely. But it's going to be printed by them. It's going to be released. It's going to be auctioned off to raise money for cystic fibrosis. And yeah, it's a very hectic and crazy and amazing thing that just happened, and we're just waiting for that perfect moment for it to kick off. Yeah. So far.
That's wonderful. And so already you've been able to use your talents to do wonderful and good things, and to help people and to raise awareness for these things. So that, wow, that's just, I mean, I can only imagine where you're going to go from here. You are going to have such a brilliant career.
Thank you.
What inspires you to write?
This is a tough one, because I've sort of learned over lockdown, especially, that you can be inspired by absolutely anything to write. So I wrote a song based off of, this is child friendly, but I was watching a documentary about a famous bad person, I'll say, and we all know, and wrote a song about that, and it's called Pristine. It'll be released on this new album that I'm working on, and it's in the process of being finished. So I can draw inspiration from documentaries, movies, conversations with people, but I'd say it usually happens from things that happen to me, usually, unless I see something otherwise. But all my songs are very close and personal. So the title track of this album, I've been bringing both of them up quite a lot, but the title track, My Time, which is the last song of the album as well. That was inspired because I was on the radio and I was sort of choking on my words and I couldn't get it right. And singing became really difficult because I was really upset. And the radio presenters are telling me, oh, no, it's fine. You did great. You did amazing. And the chorus goes, no, I'm not feeling so fine, so I'll brave the world on a different night. It's like that sort of everything's going to be okay, but you're just not feeling up to it. And that's fine because eventually it'll be your time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, those are words that we can all relate to. I know I can relate to that. Definitely. What is a typical songwriting session for you or your songwriting process? How do you go from, man, I got to write about this to finished product?
Well, I sort of just go off impulse reactions. So sometimes I'll be studying and I'll just be humming and just completely drop my homework, my studies completely, and just go on a bit of a tangent writing a song. But how did I usually start? They start in so many different ways. It's hard to say exactly. I mean, sometimes it usually just starts off with a little melody or sometimes even a little riff on guitar. But I come up with a melody and I leave it for a while, usually, because I have so much on my plate as a student that, you have to be a bit on and off. So it's just whenever I feel inspired or whenever I feel the impulse and the urge to finish something or start something. But I never purposefully, besides for the Cystic Fibrosis campaign, I've never purposely made myself write a song. It's just sort of when I'm feeling it, which is great because that means that it's a hobby that's also a career. And I think that's the best way to do it, really.
Yeah, and it's authentic. Do you ever wake up with a melody in your head?
I'll tell you what, I do sometimes dream about songs that I've written in my sleep. I remember waking up this one time like, that song was so good. I wish I had like a recording thing next to me while I slept because I don't remember it. But I did kind of sing a song in my sleep and I thought it was mine. And then I woke up and I was humming it for the whole day. I was like, this is really good. Turns out it was already a song. So maybe I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was just a lie all along. Maybe. What was the question again?
I was just asking if you ever woke up with a melody in your head, because one of my favorite stories is how Paul McCartney wrote Yesterday, and he literally just woke up and it was playing in his head, and so he just started playing it, and it became one of their biggest songs. So it's just, I
it
love
was the
how that
whole
can
thing.
happen.
It was a whole thing with the, instead of actually writing the lyrics, I think it was toasting eggs and just improvising with different things around him instead of writing the full lyrics. I find that incredible.
Yeah. Well, what are some of your musical influences, some of your favorite artists?
That is a really tough one because I am inspired and influenced by absolutely everyone. I know you wouldn't think it, but I'm inspired from anything from classical music. I went to go see a punk band the other night. I listened to a lot of R&B and jazz, and I just listened to a whole big group, just a lot of different groups of music. So I sort of try and draw as much inspiration as I possibly can out of anything. But usually I'm connected the most to music when the artist or the artists mean something like really close and personal, and you can really feel that. So I'm inspired from anything to Joji, which is sort of like lo-fi, and to Brandi Carlile, which is more folk, and Adele, for example. But I draw the most inspiration from people who are really trying to put across a clear message, and you can just hear it in the song that they write or in the voice that they really do mean something. And that's probably when I am just in awe with some musicians, and I just go away and I'm like, I need to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you on that one. Well, what would your advice be to other artists, other musicians, especially artists your age who are coming up in this business?
So from a young age, I have had to rely on so many people in order to do what I love doing. So I've had so many guitarists and pianists, and just I've had a couple bands, and it's very hard to have that healthy balance of everyone agreeing, never happens, and also that healthy balance of me completely in charge, which is not a balance at all. But and that's it's been really difficult. So I'd say to anyone, it depends on whether you're just starting out with music or just anyone who's interested in music or people my age or younger, which is fully possible. It's sort of be as open to everything as possible. So learn new instruments, try as many things as possible, sort of be left to your own devices, because once it's all up to you, you can do so much. You don't have to rely on anyone, and you can finish things, and you can work on things, and you can go to places, and you don't have to bring like an iPhone to sing off of, and you can just work with what you have. And it's so easy once you get started. There's this big whole motivational thing and willpower thing to get started. So the thing that made me start playing guitar was Johnny Marr telling me to. And even though my dad had been telling me for a very long time, I was just like, yeah, I'll do it someday. And Johnny Marr told me, and I was like, sure, yeah, on it. but yeah, just do things for yourself and be open to as many things as possible, because you need bad experiences and you need good experience, and you especially need bad experiences. And I've had so many of those that it's made me grow into the person that I am, and also the musician that I am. But what is more important is the person that I am, because I would never be able to write the songs that I make now without being the person that I've come to be because of all those things. Wow, that's really inspirational.
Yeah, no, I'm inspired. And yeah, that's what we learn the most from, all of those things that don't work out the way we want them to. It's like, oh man, I've gained so much from that. So
exactly.
Well, I would love to hear a song.
So this is a pretty sad song. I've never told anyone what it's about, but it's also on my time. And it's originally on my time. It's a piano song, but I've sort of reinterpreted it. It's my own little guitar song now. This is called I Won't Live in Fear. Okay. With every passing rainy day, your life begins to drift away from this girl who you said you loved. You never call, you never write. It's not that hard to get it right. Now this soul has suffered enough. And though you're not here, you still crush all my dreams right before just a face in the crowd. And though you're not here, you still crush all my dreams like before. But I won't live in fear that you'll come knock me down, or you'll come knock me down, or you'll come knock me down. Even more.
Wow. Wow. Oh man, drop the mic. The show is over. If I say anything else, it's going to ruin the moment. That's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
When did you write that one?
Oh my God. I don't know. My dad is saying 12.
Well, if you could perform with anyone, who would it be?
That is the most difficult question that anyone has ever asked me, for sure. I think you win there with the most original question, I think.
All right.
But I honestly am not sure at all. There's so many people, there's millions of people who I'd love to perform with, but I'm not too sure. I mean, someone that I'd love to perform with is Martin Rossiter. And in fact, I have a lot of merch. This is my dad's cup. I think he told me it's 23 years old today, which is it's like never been used. And he's using, it's especially for me today because I'm wearing a Martin Rossiter shirt. And I think that it would, tie in perfectly. But that is probably one person that I'd absolutely love to perform with. He's kind of UK based, but he was in the band Gene. And so I don't think that many Americans have probably heard of him, but he is incredible. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Well, where can we find you? What do you have coming up as far as shows or events? And then where can we follow you?
Okay, well, you can follow me and find me on my YouTube page, my Facebook page, my Instagram page, my Twitter page. That's all Chloe Lorentzen, so Lorentzen, or Chloe Lorentzen Music. One or the other, we have to fix that up. But I also have a website, which also needs to be updated, but it's completely working. And that's also at chloelorentzen.com. Very simple. And what do I have coming up? Well, I have new songs coming out of mine from my album. So I'm doing this releasing songs slowly but surely from my album, because I have 12 songs in my album, which is called Love, Life, and Lies. That'll be coming out on vinyl, but I'm releasing one by one with music videos, all of them. So check them out because some of them are great. My personal favorites are On That Day, and Remember You. And they're getting released one by one, so full updates on when those are coming out. And obviously I have the vinyl and the Cystic Fibrosis ad campaign, which is going on. I'm supporting James Walsh. I've supported James Walsh yesterday and on Friday night in London, first time playing in London. I didn't say that to the audience though, just in case they would pretend to be nice to me. I wanted to make it so that I knew what I was doing. But I'm supporting him on the 22nd. These are sort of UK-based things, I realize, but I'm also supporting him on the 25th, and that's all sort of available on all my posts anywhere in Birmingham and Nottingham, which would be fun. I have some festivals coming up, and I'm coming to America this summer, so maybe I might do a few open mics. I'm not sure if anyone's going to travel a lot of miles to come see me, but it's worth it.
I would love to see you, so that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Thank you for coming on the show, Chloe.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk about myself, as always.
All right. Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed chatting with you. I've enjoyed sharing tea and coffee. And I especially enjoyed hearing you play. That was a real treat. Ah, yes, we have two. You have one for each hand. Man, I'm missing out.
And then
I'll bring Friedrich out. He doesn't get to come out on screen much. He just hides in the back. He's the resident skull of.
I did see that. Very cute.
So
I hope it's not real.
Skull, you know. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you a blessed week, and good luck at all of your upcoming shows.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, and have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.